I have been waiting here for what feels like forever now. This is normal. It is a fact of my way of life. As I drift through the great empty darkness of the void, awaiting my quarry, awaiting my destiny. As I wait, my mind slides into a mild mania. It has done that the 5 previous times I have made this hunt, but this time is the worst of all. Of course it is. I have been here, according to my helmet's HUD, nearly 6 months now. 6 months of seeing nothing, and hearing only my own breathing, the warnings of my sensors, and what little media I was capable of storing on the minuscule amount of extra space on my suit's computer. 6 months that scramble as each day bleeds into the next. As movies and songs repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, I have memorized them all, line for line, even the ones I initially disliked. 6 months that I know may be as long as 10, and that also may be the last of my life. For if my quarry does not appear, I will die out here. My rebreather and green cycler will eventually succumb and poison me. My food will run out, and the recycler will only be able to repurpose my waste for so long before the nutrients simply run out. My tablet supplements will only buy me a week or so longer if I ration them, and that's being generous. Or perhaps that micrometeor cloud will finally catch up to me and scatter me into pieces. Whatever the case may be, it will likely be painless. Over before I even realize there's a problem. People have told me I am mad. They are few, for I have not told many of what I intend to do. But even the ones I haven't told explicitly likely know my intentions. They see the tattoo of the Remora clan on my neck, clinging to the underside of my jaw and snaking down into my shirt like the parasitic fish from old Earth that it is based on. They know what me and mine do, what we have done for centuries now. And they know that this particular fish is too big for any of us to just pass up. How could we? It is going to be the first ship to ever attempt light skipping to a completely different star. Even as secretive as the other Remora are, I know of at least 5 who are out here somewhere, hoping for the same glory as I am. But of the few others, I know of only one other is capable of it. Like me, she is also a member of the Navigators Guild. The rest are mechanics, or pilots. One is even a simple tradesman. He makes money betting on prices and values. He is no true knower of orbital mechanics. I tried to guide him away from this, tried to hint at his calculations being wrong. He forgot the law of light speed. The ship will never depart from where he believes. If it did, it would miss its target by nearly 5 years of galactic rotation. If I survive this, I will deliver the news to his parents. They will grieve, but his father is of the same clan. He knows our way. Fools take to the void. True fools die to the void, but the glorious find the way. He will mourn his son, but he will not pity him. My thoughts, meandering and broken as they are interrupted by the most important sound of my life. A small klaxon alarm goes off in my helmet. Its volume is set just below the threshold for damaging my hearing. And a good thing, too. I had not even realized I was sleeping. How can I, when my eyes show darkness, whether they are open or closed? Regardless, my HUD shows the most beautiful of sights. It is here. My calculations were as close to perfect as possible, and in the great emptiness at the edge of the system, I am only off by 150 kilometers. A stone's throw from my suit. I program in the correction, and my suit begins gently thrusting its way over to the correct position. It will take nearly a day, but I have several before it gets to where I can intercept it. It is the NSS Ericsson. It is the epitome of what mankind can create in terms of an exploratory vessel. It has 8 of the most powerful light skip drives our engineers and scientists could build. They rotate like the cylinder of an ancient revolver each time they are fired. That way the crew can recharge, and if necessary repair them in between each activation, or else scrap them and use the parts to support the other 7. Previous drives could take a ship a total of 5 light seconds each jump. This cut travel times between the settled worlds and orbital colonies by massive amounts. But those drives are expensive, both to obtain and to keep up and running. And more than a few ships have exploded from poor maintenance and overuse of their drives. Even the most powerful drive up until now could only manage a light minute at max. These 8 drives, though, they can jump for an estimate 4 light minutes. And the Ericsson has been given enough spare parts to build 20 of them if they wanted to, and enough of their exotic fuel to fire each one thousands of times. In fact, the ship is only as massive as it is because it needed all the storage space for storing materials to support the firing of the drives. The crew itself is only 100 people, and most of them are engineers and fabricators for the drives. Still, even with the 8 drives and all their support, this trip will likely take many years, maybe decades, if it even succeeds at all. My desire to join them may well jeopardize that mission. But how can I resist? They are going out beyond, out past the boundaries that have held us in our small cage for so long, and I will be the Remora that joins them on that journey. And now, as the klaxon blares again, I am almost there, ready to attach myself to that great ship, which is only a day or so away now. I activate my suit's stealth countermeasures. It is already coated in the most advanced stealth coating the black market could afford. If the vendor was telling the truth, then I should look like little more than a pebble to the ship. A web of semi-rigid fibers extend from the pack on my waist, forming a sort of web cocoon around me that reaches almost 4 feet in any direction. It is also coated in the same material as the suit, and is intentionally irregular in shape. It further blurs my form, and makes me look even more like a bit of random debris in space. With it, I deploy a cloud of chaff that will form around me. More obfuscation, and now even human eyes will not be able to determine the truth about me if they looked. But why would they? I am, as far as their ship's AI is concerned, nothing but boring old space debris. It works, and only an hour before the ship would have impacted me, their magnetic shield attempts to push me aside. When the warning appears in my helmet, I enact my final countermeasure, the one that took up nearly 80% of my suit's memory. The electromagnetic plating on my suit begins pulsing. Each pulse opposes the ship's shield almost perfectly, and each time it tries to push me, it ends up pulling me instead. This is the great deciding factor in the venture. If the ship's AI does what I hope it does, it will simply tag me as having an anomalous metal content, and simply allow me to impact it. It is moving slow relative to me, so I wouldn't do more than scratch the paint anyways. If it doesn't, then, well, I won't live long enough to worry about the railguns that are designed to destroy anything the magnetic shield can't push away. They'll vaporize me in a heartbeat. Success once more. A million things could have gone wrong, and thus far none have. My stealth cocoon makes contact with the side of the ship, and does its final duty, snagging on a small protrusion and sticking to it. I hit the button to reel it in, and ready my vacuum blister. I am so close to my destiny I can almost taste it. Another week, and the ship will reach its jump point, at least according to the information broker and my calculations. I find a portion of the hull that is directly behind one of its external storage nacelles. My chaff cloud keeps external sensors or cameras from seeing me clearly, not that I have sensed very many. Most of them are at the front of the ship. I attach the blister to the base of the nacelle arm, extending it somewhat dangerously far, and sealing it around the hull where it touches. A burst of atmosphere from my suit to test it, some readjustment, then another test. And just like that, I have a small habitat on the outside of the ship. It is small. I will barely be able to fit in it, but it is enough to live outside of my suit in small bursts. And even when my suit is on, I will be able to retract my visor. I am amazed, as I always am on these journeys, at just how thin a body can become when it lies motionless for months, eating and drinking only the bare minimum for survival. I set to work on cleaning myself and disinfecting my suit sores, which are inevitable, so that I can survive even longer. The blister has a small clear section that I have intentionally positioned towards the front of the ship. I use it to watch for the event horizon of the tear that will open. I do not know what will happen when this ship activates the first of the drives. No Remora does. None have ever ridden a ship while it light skips. At least none that have ever returned alive. Will I survive? Will I be violently detached from the ship's hull and cast adrift? Will I be vaporized or maybe turned into pure light? Will my added mass simply throw off the ship's calculations and send us deep into the wrong part of space, lost for all time? Will exotic energies irradiate me and cook me inside the blister, leaving a disgusting discovery for the crew when they ready themselves for the return trip? Nobody knows. In fact, I will likely be the first person to ever see the inside of a tear without the filter of a screen. Only the small, barely a centimetre wide clear space in the blister will separate me from that potential doom. I set my suit's sensor on the window and try to rest. Now that I have time again, I am so tired. Why do I do this? That is a question asked time and time again of anyone who bears the winding tattoo that I do. From random bars to colony jails. Even the ship captains and security teams that retrieve us once we reveal ourselves. Our answers are all different. For some, it is bragging rights. For others, it is simply a family tradition. Some are scientists and engineers, pushing the boundaries of either survival for the sake of discovering new designs. A few have foolishly, yet more truthfully, admitted that it is simply another form of thrill-seeking, like the skydivers and bullfighters of old Earth. For some, it is to climb the ranks of the clan. I am all of these people and none of them. I do it because the challenge of the void calls to me, making me more akin to the Thrillseekers than any other reason. It is something instinctual within me that drives me to this madness, which takes me to the brink of death every time. That has gotten me thrown in ship's brigs and beaten so many times, and almost killed for my crimes on 2 separate trips. That might get me energized into pure light this time. But it is also true that if I survive, I will have the ultimate of bragging rights among the Remora clan. And if I succeed, my suit and supplies will be studied thoroughly to figure out how I did this. Finally, it is also true that my father, and my grandfather, and many more before were also Remora. Even my ex-wife is one of us, though I doubt our sons ever will be. They hate me for this. The klaxon sounds again, waking me from the deepest sleep of this journey. It sounds for what may be its final time. The event horizon is forming. The Ericsson is preparing to skip forward. My time is coming, and I rush to fully don my suit once more. The net extends to secure me within the blister, even as I press my faceplate to the small window. I have never seen a tear in space so massive, so perfectly symmetrical, so dark. It is a thing of beauty and great unfathomable terror, as the instincts in my body and mind tell me that it is wrong, that it is going to kill me, and everything it ever touches. That unsettling nature is why almost no ships keep their viewports uncovered when they skip. why they choose instead to witness the tears through camera feeds instead. My destiny awaits within it. Good or bad, I will become the ultimate of my clan. There is a lurch as the drive engages fully, and the ship accelerates almost too fast for me to maintain my position. But my suit's gloves and boots are anchored, and my spinal stabilizer is fully engaged. I will see this. I do see it. And it is as terrible and beautiful as my instincts warn me it would be. My. What colors? Mystery Man, from Proxima Centauri. Written by AI, Cerberus 5G Gravitas. Great and somewhat confusing news in the scientific community today, as the Natoma Corp scientific ship, NSS Ericsson, has returned from its maiden voyage to the Proxima Centauri star system after a journey of roughly 23 years of near-continual light-skip travel. The NSS Ericsson's journey was a test by the corporate belt sector's developments in light-skip technology, and was the first journey to another star system in human history that can claim success. This marks a massive improvement to light-skip drive technology, and is certain to usher in a new wave of exploratory trips into nearby star systems, as mankind can now begin its journey into the cosmos in earnest. One key event of note is that the Ericsson somehow returned with an excess member of its crew. If you guessed that the Remora clan, a band of habitual stowaways who have played ship lanes for centuries now, had managed to get one of its members onto the hull of the Ericsson, then congratulations, reader. You, and approximately 32.78% of this article's readers, guessed correctly. The man, a 63-year-old belt dweller, a member of the Navigators Guild, named Tshirt Kamai, revealed himself to the ship's crew after their third successful jump. While Natoma Corp law enforcement escorted him from the ship, upon his return docking, he is quoted as saying, "The Glorious found its way," before being put into a judication transport. The now former leader of Clan Remora has promised a response from their hidden clan headquarters within the hour, after they review the facts of Mr. Kamai's journey. Mr. Kamai's suit and supplies that allowed him to survive the journey are currently in Natoma Corp custody and being studied. More on webpage 34A.